Donald Trump, famous for saying you're fired, but now it's Republican lawmakers doing the firing back, pushing back against Trump's latest moves on spending and trade. Turns out, when those cuts hit close to home, some Republicans sing a different tune. Who knew fiscal conservatism had its limits? It's like a reality show plot twist. The Donald, the disruptor-in-chief, now facing a rebellion from within his own party. The issue? Cuts to federal programs, the kind some Republicans once championed, until those cuts threatened their own states and voters. This isn't just some political chess match. It gets real when you're talking healthcare research, food aid and infrastructure. Suddenly, those abstract budget lines translate to jobs, services and livelihoods back home. And those are things even the most partisan politician has to answer for. Let's get specific. Trump proposed cuts to the National Institutes of Health. Sounds bureaucratic, right? But senators like Katie Britt weren't having it. Why? Because NIH funding means research dollars, and research dollars mean jobs and medical breakthroughs. Then there's USAID's Food for Peace program. This one's a twofer. It helps fight global hunger and benefits American farmers. So, when Trump took aim at Food for Peace, a bipartisan group of lawmakers, including Representatives Tracy Mann and Glenn Thompson, cried foul. Turns out helping farmers and fighting hunger is a pretty popular platform. And who could forget the tariffs? Trump's trade wars were a signature policy, but they left some Republicans with a bitter aftertaste. Senators like Chuck Grassley and Mitch McConnell know that tariffs mean higher prices for consumers and retaliation against American goods. But wait, there's more. Trump also froze funding for infrastructure and clean energy projects authorized under the Biden administration. This move even drew criticism from within Trump's own party, as lawmakers recognized the importance of these projects for their states. So, what's driving this Republican rebellion? Well, it turns out that many red states rely heavily on federal funding. That's right, the same states that often preach fiscal responsibility are often the biggest beneficiaries of Uncle Sam's generosity. It's enough to make you rethink the whole red states versus blue states narrative. For example, 13 of the top 20 states receiving more federal money than they pay in taxes voted for Trump in recent elections. So when Trump starts slashing federal programs, it's no surprise that some Republicans get a little nervous, but it's not just about the money, it's about the people. Those federal dollars fund programs that support education, healthcare and infrastructure in red states. They create jobs and provide essential services. In other words, they make a real difference in people's lives. So, where does this leave Trump? Well, he's walking a political tightrope. On the one hand, he needs to keep his base happy, and his base loves his promises to shake things up in Washington. But on the other hand, he needs the support of Republican lawmakers to get anything done. If Trump continues to ignore the concerns of his own party, he risks alienating key allies, and that could have serious consequences for his agenda. Republicans could join forces with Democrats to block his proposals or even launch investigations into his administration. This whole situation just shows how complicated American politics can be. It's not always a simple matter of Republicans versus Democrats. Sometimes the real battles are within the parties themselves. And when it comes to money, well, let's just say that everyone has their limits, even Donald Trump.